Hello, everybody. For everyone who's interested in my material, here's another video. This is Joel. So I did it again. I went and took the worst Eastern Conference team in NBA 2K14, which is the Philadelphia 76ers, and I turned it into a team that could win 9 straight championships. Now, my previous video, which was about Utah, and they won 10 championships in a row. I did the final season after I filmed the video, and LeBron ended up retiring a 13-time champion with Utah. The reason he's not on this is because I did sign him. We did win 9 championships in a row with him, but he just retired. And silly me, I didn't think to go and film this while I had his stats up, but I can tell all of you that he won the Heat three-peated, first of all, in 2014, and then the Sixers have won every single title after that, up to 2023, which is where I'm officially ending this rebuild. And as you can see, Nerlens Noel is a 92 overall, technically a 91 base rating, but 92 overall. And I just got John Wall his first championship. As you can see, I also still have Derek Favors, who was a favorite of mine in the Utah rebuild. I traded for Kenneth Faried. I got some people that I liked. Oops. Sorry about that. Otto Porter. We had Victor Oladipo at one point. We had traded for him, and after like the 7th straight championship, so the 2021 offseason, he left for the Wizards in free agency, and I was miffed. So this was the compensation I got. Brandon Jennings, he's a 5 or 6 time Finals MVP. We'll check here in a minute. Jared Sullinger's been here heck of a long time. Larry Sanders, yeah, he's out of the NBA, I think, nowadays. And Reggie Bullock. And some of y'all are going to be like, who? So let's go through it. Let's see. League history. Past champions. So, yeah. And we had Kyle Lowry. We did sign Kyle Lowry in the same offseason we got LeBron, which was 2014. And the way we got LeBron, of course, just like in the Jazz rebuild, LeBron declined his player option, and we lured him to Philadelphia with $20 or so million a year. And at one point, he almost left, and we convinced him to stay. Brandon Jennings won... Holy mother of lovin'. 6 straight. Brandon Jennings won 6 straight Finals MVPs. And Manuel Munoz, who Orlando had for his first few years. He's right now our backup point guard, because as you probably saw on the roster screen, we have John Wall. Let's see. Season awards. And yeah, we did get 3 straight MVPs with LeBron in 2018, 2019, and 2020. And he won in 2014 as well, which means he's a 5-time MVP, because remember, he won 2 with Cleveland and 2 with Miami in real life. Then he got an extra 1 in 2014. So Durant wins his MVPs a year late. Curry never got up to snuff in this rebuild. At one point, the Warriors actually offered us both Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson for Victor Oladipo and like Jared Sullinger, who's been on our team forever. And so that was kind of a bit of a reality check moment for me of, oh my god, this is actually happening. And as you can see, Anthony Davis finally wins an MVP. Let's see. Yep, here we are. And yeah, just like with Utah, our first 3 seasons were Coach of the Year worthy endeavors. Oh, by the way, the 2014 Heat went 69-10 in this alternate universe in this rebuild. And I apologize for the shaky camera, but it's just after 4 in the morning and I am dead tired. So I may not be fully paying attention to the camera, maybe more attention to what I'm saying. So bear with me. But the Heat went 69-13 and beat the Rockets in the finals. And then LeBron leaves that to come to Philly and win more titles. What the heck? And LeBron at different points was on the All-NBA third team. Dang, I wish I could pull up his resume for y'all just to look at. And we did make a pass at Kevin Durant in, I think, the 2020 offseason. Turned us down to go back to the Thunder. Which is ironic considering what he actually did in 2016, but we don't talk about that. As far as achievements, and we'll go ahead and go to team history. I did something on this that I didn't even do on the Jazz rebuild, and that was go 79-3. So yeah, we went to 2023, so it was a 10-year rebuild as opposed to the Utah rebuild, which took 12 years. Obviously, the 2013-14 season, the Sixers were trash. We wound up with, I think, the 6th pick in the draft, and we drafted a young shooting guard out of somewhere who developed decently. His name is Aaron. Wow, I can't believe I'm forgetting his name. And he's... whatever, I'll pull him up right now. I need to pan out. Here we go. Whoop. Where is he? Where is he? And there's the guy we traded for, Manuel Munoz, who's in the same draft class. Where the heck is he? Oh, he might be a free agent. Maybe that's where he is. Oh, cancel. Off-season tasks. Free agency. Yes, Aaron Daniel. There he is. And yeah, I'm stopping the rebuild. I'm not doing any free agency, anything. There he is. 9-time NBA champion. And as you can see, first team all-rookie. He knows nothing but winning, and God bless him. The poor soul. And I tried to continue this by signing Paul George, but we had hard cap restrictions, which we also had in the last video, which is why we lost Kyrie Irving in the Jazz rebuild. Not as many stars were passing in and out of here as I would have liked. We actually have had Carmelo Anthony for like the last 3 seasons. Now, the way that this rebuild has gone record-wise, and I think I'll go back to the screen here. Team history. So, yeah, this is 2023. The first season after we got LeBron, we went 62-20. We won the title. As we won the title every year with LeBron. We went 62-20 the first year with him. Then we went 70-12 for the next 2 seasons, which was weird. And it actually got to some points where we were losing like 4 games a month, and I was like, oh my god, we're probably not going to do as well, and then we match it, and I was like, what? And then we jumped from 70, and then we went 72-10, and then 73-9, and then 73-7. Or not 73-7, 75-7, pardon me, misspoke. And that was just the first 6 years. And then boom. Sorry, my mind is just right now. It is poo poo. Then I went 78-4, which was my best record with the Jazz rebuild, and then 79-3, and then this record from last season, 74-8, because we had a few injuries, and I make it sound so nonchalant, but yeah, 12 NBA championships total in the Sixers franchise history. Of course, that includes the Sixers championship in 1983, in which Moses Malone infamously said, going into the playoffs, foe. Wanted to sweep every round. That didn't quite happen, but they did sweep the Lakers in the finals that year. And then obviously winning in 1967 with Wilt Chamberlain, going 68-13 in that regular season. Beating Boston in the Eastern Division Finals, which there were people holding signs saying Boston is dead, and then the Celtics won the next 2 championships anyway. And then before that, the Philadelphia 76ers were the Syracuse Nationals. They won the 1955 NBA championship against the Fort Wayne Pistons, I believe, who now reside in Detroit. And prior to that, the Nationals/Sixers franchise had appeared in the 1954 and 1950 NBA Finals. And after the name change to the Sixers, of course, they appeared in 1977 against Bill Walton and the Blazers. They lost in 6, I want to say. 1980, they lost in 6 to Magic and the Lakers. 1982, they lost in a sweep or 5 games, something like that. And then obviously 2001, the most recent appearance for them, losing to the Lakers after winning an upset Game 1 on the road, which is probably arguably Allen Iverson's most legendary game ever. I can't say probably, because there are some people going, oh, what about his 60-point game against Orlando in the 05 season? But anyway. Holy moly. And we had LeBron wear number 23. 12-time NBA champion. Absolutely unbelievable what he was able to do. And in this game, he just stays at 99 overall for at least, 5-6 years after you get him. And then he starts dropping to 98, to 97, and then 95, and to 92. And before you know it, he's in the late 80s. And when he retired, actually, it's 87 minus 4, which technically means his base rating is 91, but he's so freaking exhausted that it drops to 87. But yeah, this Sixers team was phenomenal. And we faced several different teams in the finals, and in fact, just like in the Jazz video, which I suggest y'all watch if you haven't already, we're going to go through this real quick. So, and like I said, 2013-14, Miami beat the Rockets. LeBron got Finals MVP. And then, yeah, and by the way, this does not surprise me when you realize kind of what the role is. It's always the point guard that gets Finals MVP. Kyle Lowry was our starter, and then we traded him to Orlando for Oladipo. We traded Kyle Lowry and someone else to Orlando for Oladipo, actually. And I want to say it was a big man. It was Kyle Lowry and DeMarcus Cousins to Orlando. We also traded Reggie Bullock, and you may be wondering then, why did I see him on the team in this video? Because we traded right back for him immediately. by throwing some stuff at Orlando that we knew wasn't going to affect us later, probably like a first or second draft pick or whatever. We ended up trading Jameer Nelson back to Orlando right after we got him from Orlando, because he was the other person we got with Oladipo. I'm wondering if it was that trade or if it was that. Was that the trade or was that the Munoz trade? I get them confused. Anyway, because both trades happened with Orlando. I'm rambling here. Lowry won Finals MVP 2015 and 16, and then Jennings winning 6 in a row. We beat the Thunder in a hard-fought 7-game NBA Finals. I did actually play Game 7. We came back from 3-1. I simmed up until Game 7. And then I was like, screw it. I might as well finish off the series. And we ended up winning by 4. It was probably not as tense as the Raptors finally winning the championship 2 days ago now. And again, congratulations, Toronto fans. I've already posted that stuff on Facebook. But it was a bit tense and exhilarating and one of the most satisfying wins I've ever had. And then we beat Portland for 2 straight years in the NBA Finals. Because of course we did. Because they beat the Thunder in the conference finals both times. The Thunder kept getting back to the conference finals and Portland kept beating them. Which to me is the most hilarious thing. And we, as you can see, and the Portland series, by the way. They would always go up 2-0 and then we'd come back and sweep the series. And it would be weird. And then, the Thunder here, we ended up winning. It would always be like, we win game 1, or they win game, either it would be they win game 1, we win the rest of the series, or we win game 1, they win game 2, then we win the rest of the series. And then we swept them this year. And New Orleans decided to rear its head. 2020-21, Anthony Davis was out with an injury in that final, so we swept New Orleans. And then he was here in 21-22. We ended up beating them. Thank goodness. Minnesota, the 7th-seeded Timberwolves, upset the New Orleans Pelicans in the Western Conference Finals in 2023 to get to the finals. And I've got photographic evidence on my phone of every single year we've won the championship, what the playoff brackets looked like. I didn't, and I took photos of the roster year by year as well. I just wish I had waited, or I wish I hadn't skipped through LeBron's retirement, because I did take photos of his stats when he retired on that screen, which, again, 12-time NBA champion, 8-time NBA MVP, made the All-Star every single season except for, obviously, his first year as a rookie, and for some reason missed in 2021. Might have been injury, not sure. And this team arguably wasn't as loaded as the team in Utah, but I think we had more 70-win seasons than that Jazz team did. Because with Utah it was, and this was how it was in order. Utah, for those 10 seasons, it was 63 wins, 64 wins, 66 wins for the first 3, and then 68-14, I believe, and then 71-11 for 2 years in a row, and then 74-8, then 77-5, and then 78-4, and then the last season was actually 77-5. We barely dropped off. Whereas in this rebuild, we, for some reason, the second season we won the championship, we went over 70 wins. Or no, we got to 70 wins, that's right. Which is freaking unbelievable, because That means 8 of our 9 championships that were won in this rebuild were 70-win seasons. Absolutely ridiculous. Let's see. Here's the Hall of Fame real quick. Chris Paul. After the 2018 season, he left to join the Charlotte Bobcats as a free agent, and he forced Kemba Walker to come off the bench, which makes me laugh a little bit. They went to the conference finals both years he was there. I beat them both times, as you probably have figured out. And there's LeBron. Goodbye, sweet prince. Tony Parker retired in 2022. Congratulations to Tony Parker on his retirement in real life. After one season with the Charlotte Hornets. Dwayne Wade retired in 2020 as a 4-time NBA champion, because remember the Heat won in 2014. Kobe retired in 2017 in this rebuild, as opposed to retiring in 2018 in the Utah rebuild. Kobe, after the 2014 season, went to Cleveland for 2 years. And went to the conference finals the first year, and that was a close series that I actually played through, because there was a possibility of them beating us, and I didn't want to risk it on a computer simulation at the time. We ended up winning. And that was probably actually the first title. Yeah. Yeah, and then we had the crazy Thunder series that I mentioned earlier, where we came back from 3-1. And then the 2016-2017 season, Kobe went and signed with the Pelicans. And they got knocked out in the first round by like the Rockets or someone. I'd have to look it up. Vince Carter. God. Paul Pierce actually remained a Net for the rest of his career. Man, that's so sad. He never left Brooklyn after the trade. Tim Duncan actually retired in 2016 in this rebuild. Pretty realistic. Ray Allen. I think he retired in 2016 in real life. In this rebuild, obviously, it went differently. He actually signed with the Brooklyn Nets before the 2015 season and teamed back up with Garnett and Pierce. And there's Kevin Garnett, 2015. Dirk Nowitzki was a Denver Nugget when he retired. I still don't know how that happened. He probably got traded there because Dallas kept trying to trade him out of there. Tracy McGrady, after 1 year as a free agent, retired. Steve Nash retired 1 year earlier than he did in real life, and then obviously all the rest of them. God, this was freaking hilarious. And Kevin Durant, 5-time MVP winner. Not as ludicrous as the Utah rebuild where he won 8 MVPs. But weird nonetheless. And what was strange was that on the All-NBA teams, let's see, and you can't click on them. Yep, you can't click on them. What was weird was that on the All-NBA teams, when I was making them with LeBron, he was scoring about like 18 a game, and because I would balance to where all the starters were 30 minutes per game. And then, yeah, I had a 10-man rotation, all 5 starters, 30 minutes per game, 5 bench guys, 18 minutes per game. Pardon me. And I noticed that the points per game started to go down a little bit for the All-NBA teamers. And when was the last time LeBron made All-NBA first team? 2020. And, yeah. Let's see. Where is he? Show me LeBron. Because I think he made All-NBA second team in this. Maybe not. There he is. 2014-15. So very first year we had him, I believe, and maybe I just tiredly passed up on one, but I doubt it. Whatevs. Whatever. Wait, that's most improved. Whoopsie. Okay, yeah, I'm officially just tired. And then All-NBA third team. Yeah, LeBron's last All-NBA team appearance was like 2021? No, not even 21. Dang. Although, actually, I think it was later than that, because he had some All-NBA first team appearances later. Where are you? 2000? Maybe it was 2020. Anyway. But all the points averages kept going down. Very strange. Very funny. Very odd. And we bulldozed through pretty much everyone. Although there were some points where some teams gave us trouble. For instance, the Chris Paul Charlotte Bobcats, which I can't believe that was actually a thing. Because one time they forced us to 7 games. No, that was the Derrick Rose Bulls. Because they stocked up their team a little bit, and I was like, really? You forced me to come back from 3-2, and I'm going to destroy you in Philadelphia. We ended up winning that game. It was ridiculous. But no, this is another NBA 2K14 rebuild, and all my guards had solid perimeter defense. But one of them left, Victor Oladipo, after the 2021 season for Washington, like I said earlier. Which sucked, because he was a 90 overall. And then he dropped to 88 after just like one season with the Wizards, and it's like, yeah. Oh, and this is where it gets hilarious. I just remembered. We won our first 3 NBA championships with Brett Brown as our head coach, who, starting the rebuild, had ratings of CCCC. So that's C on offense, C on defense, C on teaching, C on potential, I believe. Maybe it was a B on teacher, but I doubt it. But he worked his way up to B and then A. And the reason I traded Kyle Lowry is because I noticed he was regressing. I got a new head coach, and there was not as much regression. And eventually I ended up winning a couple of, Rob Gatson, CPU created coach, ended up winning a couple of Coach of the Year awards with him. And Budenholzer on the Blazers, how strange is that? Yeah. What's hilarious, too, is that more than half the coaches who were coaching the teams in like 2013-14, they were all booted out within 1 or 2 years. And everybody was scooping up good CPU coaches. So Mark Jackson, Jeff Hornacek, I think Mike D'Antoni. A lot of coaches got. Brad Stevens even got the boot, which I was like, okay, that's a bit surprising. Yeah, it was weird. But this rebuild was incredibly successful. And now I mean it when I say I won't do another one of these for a while, until I get the itch. Which I might do a Timberwolves rebuild, maybe, but yuck. And maybe a Bobcats rebuild, just to see them win a championship, just to troll everybody. Even though the Hornets name is clearly way better. But yeah. I know, again, I'm probably rambling, but again, it's after 4 in the morning. I'm tired as all get out. And And I'm satisfied with this rebuild. And I'm about to say goodbye to it forever and ever. Did we ever have a Sixth Man of the Year winner? No, we didn't. Oh, and there's Chris Bosh on the Pistons. Yeah, he left Miami to join Detroit, which... why? There were some strange free agency moves. Oh, this is what's hilarious. Carmelo Anthony left Miami. Or not left Miami. He left the Knicks after the 2015 season to join Miami. 1 year after LeBron left to come to Philly. It was, what the heck, you know. And Andre Drummond, he eventually went to Chicago, I think, after this season, 2019-20. It was probably this season or this season that Chicago met us in the conference finals with Drummond. And we have Larry Sanders on our team right now. And there's Dwight, who might be in Minnesota right now. I know he spent like 2 or 3 seasons with Boston, and now he's with Minnesota, which is something I never thought I'd say out loud or on camera, but here I am. Most improved player. No weirdness this time. Like, why would Blake Griffin win it in 2017 in the Utah rebuild? John Wall actually left the Wizards to join the Lakers. Let's see. John Wall. Whoopsie. Yes. There it is. And he left after the 2018 season. And we got him a ring. Man, he looks so tired. In that photograph. And Nerlens Noel, man, he was our rock. One of my boys. One of my favorite guys. Derek Favors. Kenneth Faried, I actually had a good rebuild with him. There were times I've had rebuilds with him in the past where he just didn't pan out. And there's Manuel Munoz, the created player who you've never seen before, will never see again. Otto Porter Jr., who I think has won 3 in a row with us? No, 2 in a row, okay. Brandon Jennings, who, God, 6-time Finals MVP. And Jordan must be miffed in this alternate timeline. Larry Sanders, how long have I had him on this? Oh, wow. 2018-19. Okay, so he's a 5-time champion. Cuckoo. Yeah, and Sixers fans rejoice. Because obviously, the Sixers-Celtics rivalry is pretty big in NBA history and is fairly big nowadays. And you got your own 1960s Celtics dynasty, except it's in the present. And the teams were much better, going for 62 wins, then 2 70-win seasons, and then 72-10, 73-9, 75-7, 78-4, 79-3, and then 74-8. I don't know what else to say on this, except that I trust the process. And, well, I trusted my process in this case. But a lot of people now are talking about whether Philadelphia should trade Joel Embiid or Ben Simmons. If it were me, it would, honestly, don't trade either of them. But if I had to, gun to my head, God forbid, Ben Simmons. Because you have to start from the inside and work your way out. And it sounds old-fashioned, and I'm only, college age. I won't say how old I am, but I'm college age. But you have to have a solid big man, and it's something that I don't think a lot of teams in the NBA really have. DeMarcus Cousins, you know, in this last season with Golden State has been a bit inconsistent. Although, again, that was injury. He came back in like February. And you have Andre Drummond in Detroit, solid. DeAndre Jordan, he got traded to the Knicks right after signing with Dallas, which he should have done in the 2016 offseason. And you have Embiid. And Embiid, pretty much, it's weird to say like who the best center in the league right now in real life is, and it might be Embiid. I mean, there's nobody else really. Although Pascal Siakam, I like him a lot. The Toronto Raptor, now NBA champion. Marc Gasol finally gets a ring. And that Game 6 was one of the tensest things I've ever been through, man. Goodness gracious me. But maybe on this channel, what I might do is just put out a few different videos and ideas of maybe potential what ifs. I love what ifs. And just a good amount of stuff, content for those who want to watch, are interested in watching. Not expecting to get a ton of subscriptions, but that's fine. It's not the end of the world. But I do love making content and then putting it out to people. So for those of y'all who have hung with me through this now nearly 37-minute video, thank you so much. If you sat through all the rambling and explanation. And I'm sorry I couldn't pull up LeBron's stats, but I promise you he won 12 straight championships. 9 of them with us, 3 of them with Miami. Freaking insane that he declined his player option. But apparently in this game, if he wins his 3rd straight championship with Miami, he declines his player option and becomes an unrestricted free agent. It's like, okay, you know, everything's up for grabs now, so that'll do it. Again, I hope to make more videos. If you liked what you saw, please comment, offer encouragement, subscribe, like, whatever, and thank you for watching. I hope you all have a lovely, wonderful day or night, wherever you are, whatever time of day it is, whatever you're doing. Even if you're just listening to this, you got this in your pocket. Hope you're having a wonderful time, a wonderful life. And hopefully you guys will hear from me soon. See you later.